Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Paddock. Today is Sunday, April the 19th, and I hope you're all having a great day. It's a bit cloudy outside and a little bit chilly. I was outside with Charlie for a little walk, and it was a little bit chilly out there. So if you do go outside for some fresh air, do dress warmly. I have a story for us today. It is about recycling. Remember, on Wednesday, April the 22nd, it is Earth Day, and I want you guys to sort of start thinking about how can we heal the earth and what can you do every day, even something small to try and heal the earth. Something as small as reusing plastic bags or using a cloth bag when you go grocery shopping. That's something small, but it makes a huge difference. Shutting off the water when you brush your teeth, that makes a big difference. So I have a story today about recycling, and it is called Why Should I Recycle? Why should I recycle? And it hopefully will give you some tips about why recycling is important. In my family, we recycle our garbage. We return things so they can be used again. We didn't always recycle. We used to throw everything away. On our way to school, we always pass Mr. Jones's house. Mr. Jones is our teacher. One day, we saw him putting a special box with cans, bottles, and papers by the gate. What are you doing? This box is for recycling. All these things are taken away and used again, said Mr. Jones. What's recycling? I'll explain at school. In class, Mr. Jones asked us what we did with our trash. Well, we put it in the garbage can, of course. It's just old garbage. Mr. Jones said garbage contained lots of useful things that can be recycled or used again. But why should I recycle? Mr. Jones took the class to a recycling center. It had separate containers for bottles, cans, plastic, clothes, and paper. What do you think happens to all the glass that goes in here? Asked Mr. Jones. Well, it gets broken down to make new shiny bottles. And guess what happens to all the cans that go in here? Asked Mr. Jones. They get melted down to make new metal things such as bikes and scooters. Wow! And what about the paper and plastic that goes in here? And here, said Mr. Jones. The paper will get shredded and used to make new books and comics. All these things come from garbage and we just throw it away? This plastic can be used to make all kinds of things, including clothes. You might be wearing some right now, said Mr. Jones. So why waste? Most of the garbage that we put in the trash can get buried in dumps that spoil the countryside. It's good to recycle as much as you can, said Mr. Jones. So what else can we recycle? Clothes, books, toys that you don't want can all be taken to a second-hand store, explained Mr. Jones. The food we buy at supermarkets comes in packages that can often be used again. Don't waste, Mom. So I think she's going to use it for something else. Can you see? She's going to plant something in that container. That's a great idea. I told Mom and Dad about our trip to the recycling center. Now we buy recycled things at the stores. Recycled paper helps to save trees. We always recycle our plastic bags too. We brought our own bags, thanks. We also recycle everything at home. Fruit and vegetable peelings get recycled on our new compost heap. So this is a compost heap. Of course, in our classroom, we used worms in our compost heap, right? It's called vermicomposting, right? The compost helps my mom's prized vegetables to grow because once it's all broken down, that garbage, the food pieces, etc., that it becomes soil, right? We talked about that, and then you can use that in our plants, and it actually helps our plants to grow much better. Now we recycle so much garbage that there's hardly any garbage left to put in the can. Look how empty it is. That's great. Recycling is kind to nature. It saves money and it's fun. So my friends, I hope that you learned a thing or two about recycling, and I hope that maybe in your household you can try and recycle more as well. So, you know, if you don't already have a recycling box, maybe you can ask your parents to sort of set aside a container, our old Rubbermaid container, that you can use to recycle plastic containers, glass jars, things like that, and then go through it. Maybe there's stuff that you can actually use for crafts, right? We know we love to do crafts, right? So maybe some of the containers, some of the lids, you can make a new robot or something like that. Containers can be put together. I know Mia did this with cans, and she put yarn around it, and she's put her pencils and markers in there. So it's holding all of her stuff to write with and color with. That was a great idea for recycling, but it's also useful, right? Instead of having her pencils everywhere, it's in one spot. So fabulous idea, Mia. Anyways, there's lots and lots of different things that you guys can do to help heal the earth. And I hope you start thinking about a few things that you could do. Love you all, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.